Today is September 25th, 2019. I'm going to do a Hobbit garden review. I actually videotaped one for last week, but I never put the pieces together. If you'd like to see that, ask me and I'll do it. At least I think I will. So I've been following the drama in the UK with Brexit. Wow, what a mess. And I've been following the hoax. Now it's a Ukraine hoax here in America. First it was Russia hoax, now it's Ukraine hoax. There's a whole lot of corruption on the Democratic side that has been hidden for years. At least that's my belief. And it's starting to come out. There's a IG Inspector General report supposed to come out. It keeps being promised, and it must be close the way they're going crazy. So anyway, that's my take on why things are so crazy in DC at the moment. There's a lot of darkness about to come to light. So at least that's my hope. So here we go. Here, let me go and talk to you what's happening here. I'm just going to go through and talk about things, and we'll see how it works. Here we are in the greenhouse. You can see basil. Now I took some stems and planted them. In fact, right now everything's really dry in here, but I have a number of the basil plants that survived. And I actually have a whole bunch of other basil I'm supposed to pot up, but I never got to. But look, that lavender is really starting to look good. So I need to water everything in here. Now we did get rain a couple days ago, and it rained really nice. So things are looking pretty good. In fact, it's surprising now these are actually carrots. I picked a couple from here. I just let it go all year. Then that's, is that thyme? I think it's thyme. It's either rosemary or thyme, but I think it's thyme. And that's a nice herb, and it's very hardy. This has come back a couple of years, and I divided it this year, and I got another pot of thyme. Now the basil, well, I got basil everywhere, and a lot of it, is going to seed. Now the okra. Now every day I've been coming out and getting a bowl full of okra. In fact, there's one of them I missed up over there. I've already picked today. But it's amazing. In fact, I just deep fried okra. I mean, my fridge is now full of, what I do is I cook a whole bunch, and then, I cook all that I've picked. And then I'll, look at this. How did I miss this a while ago? I was out a few hours ago. I guess it's growing all day long. It really comes up quick. There's a couple in there that I need. It's not that big. But you want it about that size. You want it tender. But the okra, now, this is just one of my half. I planted half of my, maybe a little over half, with okra. And the other half I had, I think, corn. I know I had corn. And initially you thought, well, that's not a lot of okra. But at this time of the year, that's a lot of okra all of a sudden. And it's producing. And I've been cooking, deep frying it so much. And I pickled some. And I think I'm going to freeze some. So here we have, look at that nasturtium. I love these flowers. And water ready to be put on something. But look at this. So this garlic's coming up. I think this is pretty much all garlic, but that one there looks like an onion. There might be, but look at that. Now what's crazy is, these tomatoes keep producing. And I'm not really, I've had so many tomatoes, I'm tired of giving away tomatoes. But I have actually a tray full of tomatoes to give away again today. Inside. But look at this. No, I'm not tired of watermelon. 1, 2, and then here we'll get through the other ones. Let's go. And maybe these peas might do something. Slowly they're growing. I don't know. But look, 3 and 4. Now this one doesn't look so like it's getting very big crack. But can you believe that? 4 new watermelon. They're growing. And you can see here, it looks like these cucumbers, I mean, a couple of green leaves, but they look to be out for the count. And then here, this is garlic. And you can see I planted some onions. They're starting to grow. These are some bulbs that I'd picked in the summer, and they're just little, so I planted them again to see if they would grow this fall. Because, you know, when it gets real hot, the onions die. But look, corn. Now, I don't know if it's going to have enough time to grow, but I'm trying. So I have a mixture of stuff in here. There's, I think I have garlic planted on this end. Now, the pole beans, they may be done. I mean, there's a few flowers on them, and they look green. Maybe something will happen, but I didn't really pick a lot of pole, at least from these plants. But I actually did pick from other plants quite a bit. And there's a watermelon there, and a little one there. Now, these watermelon in this lot have trouble getting, you know, not going bad on me. But we'll see. Now, this is kind of neat. Look at that. This is garlic that I was planning on this garlic growing over the winter, but look, it's popped right up. And there's some other seeds. There's a watermelon plant. But it's too late in the year, right? You can't get watermelon this late, can you? I mean, new watermelon, new plants. But it wants to grow. So you can see that peach tree I cut back. And look. My apple tree has tomatoes growing on them. So I'm still getting tomatoes. Now, this cucumber here, I left on purpose. And you can see it's turned yellow, but it's still hard. And what I understand is that you leave them until they start to grow soft. And then the seeds should be good for use. Technically, I heard it said that the cucumbers aren't actually ripe until they become softer. Then they're actually ripe cucumbers. Anyway, that's what I heard. At least the seeds are ripe. Of course, who wants to eat a cucumber that's going that soft? And look at this cantaloupe plant. All of a sudden, new life on it. I mean, I guess the cooler weather and the rain has made some headway on that. But you can see the garden itself has cut back in growth a lot. But yet, other things are trying to grow. You know, I didn't make a big effort to plant more stuff. I was kind of tuckered out a little bit. But look, that tomato plant that I let grow up, it was full of tomatoes this week. I picked a whole bunch, and you can see all the green ones in there too. And look how tall it's getting up on the greenhouse. So that's something else. And then more carrots. I should look through there to see how big they are. I've let that grow all year. I'm not any good at growing carrots. Now, look at this. I think this is the orange mint. Now, I had cut this way back and harvested the mint and let it dry out. And now it's all bushy again, ready to be harvested again. And then this mint up here I thought was going to die on me. Well, actually, I think this is chocolate mint. And you can see it went way back, and then this one went to seed. Nothing to brag about there. And here, this is the other thyme. I'm pretty sure that's thyme. You see how that I had half that bush and It's just as bushy. Catnip. I don't really know what to do with catnip. I love that nasturtium. And look at this. I planted lettuce, that butter crunch, and now it's starting to grow a little bit. So in a bit, I'm going to have lettuce I can pick. And look out front here. You'll be surprised. I'm surprised at this anyway. Look at this. Greens. Mustard greens. Right there. You look at that big mustard green. If I would want to eat it, I've got it there. I've been watching the Clampetts, and Granny used to always send, Jethro and Ellie Mae out to get greens. This is what she was sending them out for, mustard greens. They must have had them all over the Ozarks and things. Now I did plant this one here with garlic. It seems to be struggling, but the flowers aren't. Look at that. That's beautiful. And then these flowers, and of course peppers, but these are sweet peppers, and there's a few to pick. See, these tomato plants are starting to look a little more skimpy, but if you look underneath, there's actually a lot of tomatoes that could be picked, and I've picked quite a few this week and given them away. Like I say, I'm out of jars, so I can't really can them. And I've got plenty of soup in the fridge. Look at that. You see that big tomato in there? So I'm still going to get some nice tomatoes here. That's kind of what the front garden's looking like. And look at this. You see that? More flowers. So these guys I'll get tomatoes up until it freezes. Okay, that's the front. So here we are in the backyard. You can see the butternut squash. I picked the 4 that I had today. I had to actually use loppers. I couldn't cut those vines. They were so tough. Here, let's go down. So this is my back porch. This is a mess. This I forget what that's called, that red stuff, but you can see how the paint's looking so good. But I used a different thing for an oil-based stain thing for this floor. It was a big mistake. Look at this. These cucumbers are done. Look at that. So I need to rip them up and prepare that for winter, it looks like. That mint's looking good. Well, the cabbages have now been eaten by bugs, but that's okay. Now look, we do have, I mentioned that I'm picking some pole beans. These along this little fence have actually produced quite a bit this week. I gave the pole beans away, but there's still some. You see, they're still producing, and they're nice. These are some nice pole beans up back here. And we got some peppers coming on. I picked some peppers, and you can see this cucumber also is struggling. Now I was planning on leaving that cucumber right there. You see it? To go to seed. I was going to let that get, I was going to collect seeds from it, let that get old and stuff. We'll see. I showed you the butternut squash that I picked. Oh, I missed one, but this one's younger. Look at that. So I still have one left growing. I have been attacking squash bugs a bit a couple days ago. And so there's one butternut squash, and these are nice garlic, onions things. I'm wanting that to expand. Man, the sunlight's going. I spent so much. Oh, there's another one. Can you see it? There's a nice. And look, now these squash plants come from two places. Here's one, and there's the other one. So this one has gone over there. That's one plant. And there's one squash left on it, and maybe I'll get some more. At least one that I see. There's something there. But I think it's cantaloupe. And then this is the other. Look how all the leaves are dying on it. But at the end, at the new growth, there's a squash. Isn't that amazing? On this butternut squash. So I don't know if that's how everybody's butternut squash work. But it's amazing. I mean, 15 feet of vine that's all the leaves are dying on it, but the end is all green and producing still. Look how these vines have been attacked. Now, I did find a whole colony of squash bugs, and I came out and attacked where I could find them, but you can see something has been doing great damage to my my pumpkin plants. Look at that. But look at there. I hope it's still good. It's on the ground, so I've never grown pumpkins before. I'm wondering if it's gone, if it's rotten underneath, because I've noticed that. Oh, look at that. Something's coming to eat. Look at that pumpkin. You see, something's been chewing. I guess I need to pick these pumpkins because something's out here chewing on them. They're getting ripe. I don't know what critter. I didn't notice those tooth bites. Now look at that little watermelon. So all this vine I was mowing, so I moved the vine. But I actually have one little watermelon. And then in here, I've got 2 pumpkins. But look at this. I don't like this at all. Look at that. Who's been eating on my pumpkin? Can you save that? And then we got that pumpkin over there. So something's come in here and really had a heyday. If you guys know what this is, what kind of animal chewed on that? I guess I'm going to pick the other pumpkins. Do I leave that one out here, or do I take it in and see if somebody wants to try and make a... I guess you could cut off the bad part. I don't know if that's something you can do. Okay, this is the pumpkin patch. You can see how the leaves have really and I think it's squash bugs, because I found some squash bugs. But they're really dying. And if this is normal, let me know. But I'm going to pick these pumpkins and take them into the house. Because I don't know if that's a rodent or what. I don't see deer. Let's go look again. I don't see any, or do I? I don't see hoof prints around it. That makes me kind of sad. Looks like I'm losing light. I hope you've enjoyed this update. I may have one more update at the beginning of October. I'm going to do some traveling with my brother. So, who knows? I may not do another update. It may be I don't know, it may be 3 or 4 weeks before I do an update. We'll see. But love you guys. Bye-bye now. So that pumpkin was rotten, had gone bad. But yet there's seeds that I did take half of it and I've got the seeds out. And there's some seeds there. Maybe I'll come back later and try and collect some. But that pumpkin, when I went to pick it up, just came apart in my hands. So that was shocking. Now here are the other pumpkins. So this seems to be all the pumpkins. I'll come and look again. So I had one that was bad, and then this one that's been chewed on, and then I picked these other ones. Now it turns out the two inside this fenced area were good. So in the faith garden itself, they were, you know, I'm giving credit to the fence keeping something out, but also it's a little bit higher ground. So whatever happened to this one, I'm giving credit to the fence, at least. And look, this one here had actually already come off. I didn't cut that one. The other four I cut.